Yo control freaks, what's up? In this video today I'm going to show you all I know about how to put the finger of ClyphX Pro on the right element in Ableton. We're going to have a look at tracks, clips, scenes, devices and racks. It's all about names and positions, and my name is Schlappe, and let's talk about ClyphX Pro. The possibilities are literally endless, so I thought the best way to do this is by showing you relatively simple examples at the beginning, and then we take up the complexity step by step. The Ableton set I'm going to use, I'll share on my blog. The link is in the description, so you can download that and follow along while watching this tutorial. So without further ado, let's jump right in, shall we? So everything I will show in this video is done by Xclips, but you can use these actions on any trigger you'd like. I just thought it is cool because you can read and see what's going on. Let's start by referring to different objects by its position in the set. I'm going to use the select action for a start. The first Xclip is going to select the second track in the set. So that's being launched. It's going to select the second. And guess what? This is going to select the third track. Perfect. A little remark here. Under preferences, under launch, there's an option select on launch. Now, when that's activated, these select actions won't work properly because the select action is going to be triggered when the clip is launched, and then you have a conflict between Ableton and ClyphX Pro. Is the clip going to be selected or the track? And that results in unreliable behavior, as I'll show you. Yeah, it flashes, track is selected. No. Ableton says, no, the clip is going to be selected. So make sure the select on launch is deactivated. Okay, now let's head on to select a specific clip slot on a track. This is done simply by putting the number of the clip slot you want to select after the select action. In this case, I've chosen the 11th clip slot on track 3. So when I launch this clip, it will select the clip slot 11. There are special operators such as empty, and this will select the first 3 clip slot on that track. So in this case, it will select the first, but when I copy those over here, it should select the 4th clip slot. You can select devices on a track. Now, I have a few devices here on this track. Let me open this up. Here, that's different than before. In this case, I want to show you how to select the second device on that track. And this is done by putting the number of the device in parentheses after dev. So when this clip is launched, it should select, you can't see it very well, but let me see, like this. Yeah, it selects the second device. So that is how you refer to an object by its position. But there's another possibility which is very, very useful, because when your set gets bigger and the order of your tracks change or the position of your clips change, your actions will not work anymore if the order changes. So there's another possibility, and that is referring by the name. You do this by simply putting the name into quotes and you're good to go. In this case, it's going to select the track called track 3. The 10th clip slot. This is going to select the clip with the name clip-2 on the track called simpler. And as you can see, when I drag this over there, for example, this is going to select the right clip. If you would have referred it to the clip slot 2, this action wouldn't work anymore. So when you refer to a name, your actions will follow. Okay. The same goes for devices. As before, you put the number or the name in parentheses after the word dev. Okay, so this is going to select the device called EQ on the track called simpler. There you go, perfect. And it even pops up the device view. So far, so good. I want to add a few remarks when using name references, and that is first use either lower or upper cases because it is case sensitive and it makes your life much easier if you don't have to think about did I write that with lower or upper cases. I always use upper cases, but that's just my personal taste. As a matter of fact, you can use whatever you want. That's one thing. And the other thing, if you look at here, this is the default naming of Ableton. So when you type in, let me just correct that. If you type in 6 whitespace audio, you would think it should select this track, but in fact, it doesn't. Why is that? Because when you go in here into the track name, there's a hash symbol at the beginning. So internally in Ableton, the actual name is not 6 audio, it is 6 dash audio. So this action should work, and it does. I mean, I could not recommend using that. I would give this track an exclusive name and you're good to go. Because when you move this track to another position, it will change the 6 to 5, and then you could have used the number reference in the first place. Another thing is when you use an external text editor to work on longer action lists, make sure it is set to plain text mode, because what some text editors will do, they will alter your quote symbols. So when I type in here a quote, see, it alters my quote, track 3, see? And therefore, this is not going to work because those quotes are special characters. So I did this here, and as you can see, it doesn't work. So when I switch to plain text mode, let's see if that works. I put in my quotes, track select. Now I go in here, copy that. It works again. Plain text is your friend. There are special tracks. We have 2 types of special tracks. First, we have the return tracks. These are referred just by letter A or B for track B. So when I trigger that clip, it will select return clip A. And we have the mighty master track, which is MST for master track. We also can select different scenes, either by position or by the name. And there are special scene actions. And the syntax for scene select is scene select and then the number or the name. I have 2 examples. This is going to select number 3, and this is going to select the scene called special. Now let's move on and see what changes if we apply different actions to different objects. When it comes to track actions, there's no big change here, but I wanted to show you how you apply a different action to a track. For example, here is the mute command. You refer to the second track of the set. So this will toggle the mute, but I wanted to show you a different action, which is called mon, which stands for monitor. This will skip through the different possibilities of your monitoring. So to show you this, I have to show the in and output tab. So this will skip through the monitor properties of the track called simpler. Now let's head on. We have the same for the special tracks, like the return tracks. This is going to mute and unmute return track A. And the same goes for the master track. We have the action vol, which sets the volume, and we have as a value 0, which will turn off the volume. So where it really changes is clip actions. That's a different chapter in the manual. To refer to a specific clip, you put the clip reference into parentheses after the word clip. So this is how a clip action always will start. I'll show you a few examples. Here we have the action on track 2. The second clip is going to toggle the mute, All right. And then I have a different command. This will extend the clip length by its value, so doubling it. Okay. But of course, you also can refer to a clip by its name. And you do this exactly like I showed you before by putting the name into quotes. And I want to show you also a different action. And this is going to affect the color of the clip. And I also want to introduce a special operator. There is this angled bracket. This means next. So it changes the value by 1. You could do the same in the other direction. This is going to decrease. So this is the decrease or previous, respectively next or increase the value operator. So when I press this, it will step through the different colors of that clip. So we also can affect sense of a track. You find that under track actions, I guess, and you simply put in the letter of the send, and this is going to set the send value. So you can either put in 0 or put off to affect the send of a track. Now let's talk about nested devices or devices in racks. In this case, on this device, we have 3 chains, each with few effects on them. So this is the 3rd device on that track. And to specify this, we type in 3.1. The 1 refers through the chain, right? So when I press that, it will toggle the state of all devices in that chain. But we can dig in 1 layer more. So to toggle the state of this vinyl distortion, which is the 2nd device on the 1st chain of the 3rd device, we type in 3.1.2. Now, when I launch this, it will toggle the on-off state. So as this isn't bizarrely cool enough, you can mix names and those positions, right? So instead of referring to the 3rd device, you can do strange creatures 0.1.2, and this will do the exact same thing. Or you can refer to another chain. The 2nd chain, the 5th, will turn on or off the auto filter. And also here we can refer that layer by names by putting it into quotes, right? You also have a special operator called all, and you guess what it does. It applies to all devices. In this case, we have all in parentheses our devices, so this will apply the action fold on all devices on track 2. And because we haven't specified if it's fold on or fold off, so this is folding, right? Like a double click on the title, it will toggle the fold. So those which are open are going to be folded and vice versa. Okay, but you can specify to, for example, fold all of them, and then you have a cool overview. So that's something which could be useful on an X control or some sort of trigger when you have a big effect chain on your track and you want simply fold all together to get an overview. This also applies to nested devices, which we will talk about later. Now let's have a look at scenes. To refer to a specific scene, you type in scene, then the position of the scene, and then the action. I'm going to use the color command. This is number 10, and I use this open and closed angle bracket. That's quite a cool operator to just increase or decrease the value. And you also can use the special operator select. So this is going to affect the actual selected scene. And the same goes here. You can use this to skip through colors. Now, I found one inconsistency. It's not possible to refer to a scene by name, at least to use the color command. So This actually should turn the color of the scene test, right? But that does not work. It colors the scene where the clip is on. I think that is a bug, but I think it's not a big deal, and we'll see if it's fixed in a future update. All right, so this is how you point a finger at one specific object in a set, but we have various of options to refer to more than one object, to a range of objects. Let's have a look at how to define a range. For example, you wanted to mute track 2, 3, and 4, so the group from 2 until 4. You do this by simply putting a slash, and as you can see, it toggles the mute. You can also do a list by declaring each individual track separated by commas, 2, 4, and 5. You could do exactly the same with the track names. Here, for example, track simpler and track 3 separated by a comma toggles the solo. And you can also define a range. I have, for example, here's a track called last, so simpler to last, the solo. Okay, and the best of all, you can mix both. You can mix a list, you can mix names and position. For this example, the track simpler referred by name and track 5 to 8. So track 3 and 4 is not affected. And we have special commands like all, which will affect, you guess what, all tracks. To omit something, you can also mix various ranges like 1 to 4 and omitting 5 separated by comma and a second range 6 to 8. That works as well. The ranges also work on clips. You just put the range you want to affect in the parentheses. So this is going to mute clip 2 and 3 or 2 to 3. You can mix, you can use names. So this is going to toggle the mute of those two. Okay, and you can mix position reference and the name like so. All right, and of course you have the all operator, which also can affect the clips, as you can see. And here's a special action which is called sColor, sCall. This will apply the color of the track to all clips on that specific track. So now let's see. Beautiful, isn't it? Okay, and you can step through colors with the open angle bracket. Same goes for devices. Nothing new here. Let's see. So this is going to affect 1 and 3, right? So this toggles the device on and off. Ranges do not apply to scenes. So this doesn't work. Now, actually, hold on. Probably this will work. Scene. Oh, we would have a white space. No, but actually no brackets. Let's see. No. To round this tutorial off, we have some specialties. You have an operator which is called self, which will apply to the clip itself, like so. We can use those special operators to refer to tracks relatively to the one the clip is on. So this should affect the track right next to the one where the clip is. Let's see. I have to activate them. Let's see. So this is right. And the same goes, or should go, to the other direction. Let me see. So if I put this the other way, it works also the other way, right? Okay, you can define ranges and mix those operators. So this Xclip will define the range from the track to the right of the track where the Xclip is on, up to track 8. See, we'll toggle the mute. And you also can use the open angle brackets as an individual track. So this is like two single tracks separated by a comma. Let's have a look at devices. So there's a special action which is called def first. This will select the first device on a track, and def last will select the last device on the track. That can be quite useful. Let's have a look again at nested devices. It can be somehow quite messy when you have audio racks and devices nested in there, but you have an action to select the chain. So right at the moment there is chain 2 selected, but you can use ClyphX Pro to select the first chain or the second chain. And of course you can select a chain referring by the name. You also can browse through the devices by the open angle bracket. You can move up and down when you have loads of devices and you want to fold them. This X-clip will fold the devices of the first chain. Okay. You can have a fold on and off action for the selected chain. So you can use selected to specify the devices on the chain which is currently selected. And you can use that as well to skip through those devices. Unfortunately, this does not work. It's described in the manual on page 34. Select cannot be used to specify the selected device on a chain, since chains have no notion of a selected device. Nevertheless, that wraps it up for today's video. I hope you found it helpful. Please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments if I've missed something or if you have any further questions. And until then, Cliff and me say goodbye and say stay healthy, stay happy, and always stay in control.